To introduce the commencement speaker, may I call on the Vice President for Administration, Professor Rudyard C. Pessimo, to be followed by the commencement address of the guest speaker.
A good leader leads the people from above them. A great leader leads the people from within. Our University President, Attorney Remelisa Garcetorena Alfelor Moraleda, Executive Vice President and Vice President for Finance, Madam Delicia Rigoroso Alfelor TB, Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Eleanor A. Osea, Vice President for Alumni Affairs, Dr. Filipinas R. Alfelor, the honorable members of the UNEP Board of Trustees, Madam Eleanor R. Alfelor, Honorable Roberto R. Alfelor, and Honorable Emmanuel T. Alfelor Jr. To the distinguished deans of colleges, UNEP administrators, faculty, and staff. To the UNEP graduating class of 2020, their families, friends, and loved ones, a pleasant day to you all. A story was told back in June of 2019 when the mayor-elect of Manila was prepping for a shoot and interview with one of the country's top lifestyle magazines. While putting on his shirt, a wardrobe assistant accidentally pulled a bit too hard on his arm, causing him pain. The assistant apologized profusely, but the bemused young mayor waved off her apology and said, "Huwag kang mag-alala. Marami na akong pain na naranasan." "Don't worry," he said. "I've already experienced pain many times in my life." Indeed, his is a story that is filled with narratives ranging from pain to pleasure, deprivation to decadence, garbage to glamour. Born on October 24, 1974, young Isko grew up in the slums of Tondo, Manila, along Mabuhay Street, near the long coastal road. His father, Joaquin, was a stevedore, while his mother, Rosario, took care of the needs of the family. It was not an easy life, and his father didn't always have a job. Hence, the young Isko needed to hustle to help with the family income. To put food on the table, he would collect pagpag, or discarded food from restaurants and karinderya. Sometimes, they would even sell pagpag to their neighbors for extra income. As he grew older, he learned how to make more money by selling old newspapers and used bottles. But this hustle came with danger. His comrades in the streets were often high on rugby, and work often led to brawls. Something that young Isko said he tried to avoid as much as he could. Any kind of trouble might push him away from his family's dream for Isko to finish high school. His father only made it to grade 4, but his son would be different. College was out of the question, of course, given that the family could barely pay for the 120 peso fee for his almost free public education. There was a time his classmates would make fun of him in school for being a garbage collector. There was a time when then Manila Mayor Mel Lopez had a clean and green campaign in the city, and Isko, being a real trash collector, was teased by his classmates. "Mayor! Mayor!" they would call him. Still, the young dreamer could not be deterred. Back then, in his mind, he would go beyond high school. He wanted to become a seaman. Eventually, he dreamed he would be the captain of a ship. But fate had other plans. In January of 1993, Moreno was at a neighbor's wake when a talent manager and producer gave him an opportunity to be in front of a camera. He didn't know what that entailed, but as someone who had been through more frightening perils, this sounded like an easy kind of unfamiliar. His first acting gig, if you would call it that, was for the RPN 19 drama anthology, Young Love, Sweet Love. It was hosted by Herman Kuya Germs Moreno, showbiz veteran and entertainment impresario. In that episode, the newbie Moreno had one job: ring the doorbell. The call time for the shoot was at 9 a.m. They shot his scene at around 7 hours later. But the long wait in an air-conditioned room with free food doing nothing was for Moreno pure bliss. He got 1,500 pesos for the stint. He got his first paycheck, which he would spend on a pair of underwear and the food for his family. Eventually, the boy's charm and good looks would take him beyond the role of the doorbell guy. He was soon asked to audition for the 7th batch of hosts and adopted the screen name Isko Moreno as soon as he stepped into the bright lights of the hugely popular variety show That's Entertainment. His showbiz success came with his unrelenting rise to fame. He made movie after movie, enjoying the stream of income that he gained from his projects. His years as an actor and entertainer throughout the 1990s are well documented, although he never quite became a white-hot superstar. In fact, he would be the first to characterize his success in the entertainment industry as moderate. He also doesn't gloss over the years he spent during more risque roles for movies produced under Notorious Studios' Seiko Films. But since it's in his nature to always be on the lookout for self-improvement or just something new to do, he stepped out of the showbiz world to date a different route. Isko first entered politics by running for councilor in 1998. It was a decision done on a whim, he admitted. He was just feeling lucky that year. He approached then Vice Mayor Lito Atienza and found himself a slot in the race. He also found himself in the middle of campaign trash talking, something he didn't think would hurt him hard. The boy from Tondo was lambasted for having only finished high school. People called him artista lang. Never one to raise a white flag, he used the weapons of his detractors against them. He was an artista, yes. He was just a high school graduate, yes. But he was also from the people. He told his audiences during the campaign, "Walang sino man ang makakapagsabi dito na alam nila ang pakiramdam ninyo kapag kumakalam ang sikmura ninyo. Ako, alam ko yon." He won that election as Manila's youngest ever city councilor at 23 years old. And he served as councilor for 3 terms. While he was councilor, he went back to school. He wanted to learn. He wanted to fight back and prove his detractors wrong. He, too, belonged in public service. He, too, belonged in politics. Then he heard that his fellow artista turned politician Mayor Vilma Santos attended a few courses at the University of the Philippines to help her with her new role. This inspired Isko to follow suit. He headed to UP and inquired about the institution's special programs on legislation. With the financial support of former Manila Vice Mayor Danny Lacuna, Moreno was able to take the program and finish it. But he didn't stop there. Moreno enrolled in leadership and governance courses at the John F. Kennedy School of Government in Harvard University. and at the Said Business School of the University of Oxford. With this kind of education in his arsenal, Isko went on to become Manila's youngest ever elected vice mayor at 32 years old, first under Alfredo Lim, then under Erap Estrada for 3 consecutive terms. Moreno agreed to be Erap's running mate on the condition that the former president would only run for 1 term and would hand the reins over to his vice mayor in the next local elections. But 3 years later, Estrada allegedly reneged on the deal and decided to run again. Disappointed but not dejected, Moreno chose to cut ties with Estrada. Moreno ran for the Senate in 2016 but lost, placing 15th. He says the best thing to come out of it was that he was able to see the beauty of the Philippines during his nationwide campaign. Then, during the Philippine midterm elections, he ran for mayor of the city of Manila. It was a difficult campaign for the much younger Isko, who went against Joseph Erap Ejercito Estrada, former president of the Republic of the Philippines, a former movie star, patriarch of a political family, and even a former mentor. It was David emerging victorious over Goliath, having beaten the incumbent Mayor Estrada by an overwhelmingly convincing margin of close to 150,000 votes. And another former Mayor, Alfredo Lim, who finished 3rd in the polls. The new mayor can only speculate how and why he triumphed over gigantic names in Philippine politics. It pays to wait, he added. It pays to be patient. It pays to prepare yourself. Because in the end, it's really up to the people to decide. So, at the age of 44, Honorable Francisco Moreno Dumagoso was the youngest elected mayor in the history of Manila, the capital city of the Philippines. In just his first week of office, Mayor Moreno has earned praise from different sectors of society for his quick actions on a variety of issues facing his constituents. Mayor Isko, or Yorme, was all over the news. During his first State of the City address, he held up a piece of paper with a huge 0 representing the number of official documents the previous administration turned over to his transition team. The next day, he presented a suspect arrested for allegedly extorting money from sidewalk vendors in Blumentritt. Photos began circulating online of a relatively clean Divisoria and Carriedo, one steaming with countless sidewalk vendors and impenetrable to motor vehicles, now passable to vehicular and pedestrian traffic, and cleared of obstructions, human or otherwise. Clearing operations in the area was one of the first official directives of the freshman mayor. Within the next few days, he turned up again almost incessantly on social media news feeds and television newscasts. There he was, brandishing a sledgehammer and whacking gambling machines operating within Manila City Hall grounds. He was photographed handing out food to Mali the elephant at the Manila Zoo, promising a major overhaul of the once popular tourist attraction that has fallen into major decrepitude over the years. And there he was again, wielding yet another sledgehammer and throwing the first few blows at what he said was an illegally built barangay outpost that covered up the statue of a prominent Filipino-Chinese business leader. The new mayor clearly meant business, and he's not wasting a single minute of his 3-year term. Indeed, Mayor Moreno was making good on his primary campaign promise of cleaning up the city, both literally and figuratively. His number 1 priority is the city's garbage problem, as he promised to address the environmental issues of the city of Manila. He's certainly not waiting to tackle this issue, but many of his other pet projects might take a bit more time. Poverty alleviation, social amelioration, infrastructure, and heritage preservation. All are on the new mayor's to-do list. He is especially keen on bringing back the glory days of Manila through its colonial buildings or what's left of them. He promised to bring back the glory of old Manila. But preserving the past didn't mean ignoring the demands of the present. Moreno outlined his plans to balance respecting Manila's history with adopting measures to address the challenges of modern times. He mentioned introducing new technologies, ideas, and concepts in governance, as well as reintegrating Manila back into the fold of agencies of national government. He says the decision to run for public office happened more because he felt the desire to give back, to return the blessings he had been given during his years in the limelight. Having only finished high school, Moreno admits an initial ignorance of the exact function and responsibilities of a councilor, a vice mayor, and a mayor, but an intense desire to learn the ropes and to actually take politics seriously. He was willing to quit showbiz altogether, has set him apart from many other actors turned politicians. Having seen Mayor Isko in action during his first week in office has led to the people's renewed sense of optimism and, dare we say it, hope. That in an age when it's all too easy to become cynical about politics in this country, it is good to know change is still possible. While it's way too premature to call his term as a triumph for all Manileños, his actions thus far look promising indeed. As the mayor of a highly urbanized city with 1.8 million constituents during nighttime and almost 3 million during daytime, Mayor Isko Moreno surmised that if he could say something to his 10-year-old self scavenging for food at a fast food dump, he has this to say: "Galing mo, kid. Posible pala. If this thing happened to me, it can happen to anybody." Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce our commencement speaker, Honorable Francisco Moreno Dumagoso.
Ay, kamusta po kayo? Marhay na aga sa inyong lahat to the University of Northeastern Philippines. It is an honor for me to be with you today under the new norm. I am glad that you continued the commencement even by virtual means, because this is a very significant moment and an important milestone for every student, and of course, and their parents. To the student, because this is a culmination of your years of formal study, and to the parents, because your sacrifices has produced an able citizen for the nation building. To the graduating students, let us all give our parents a much deserved applause. Maya-maya konti, pagtapos nito, bulungan nyo sila, yakapin nyo sila, halikan nyo sila, at magpasalamat kayo. At binigyan tayo ng pagkakataon matapos ang ating, o makamit ang ating mga pangarap. Hindi po ako, katulad ko po, yan din ang pangarap ng aking ina o ng tatay ko. Pero medyo natagalan po ako dahil sa hirap ng buhay. At kayo mapalad, maaaring most of you here na witness pa ang inyong graduation kasama ang inyong ama. Ang tatay ko po hindi. Pero sa awa naman ng Diyos, nakatapos din. Kaya magpasalamat kayo sa inyong mga magulang at sa inyong guro, siyempre. The graduates today are confronted with a very unique challenge because of the pandemic. I think these are the questions in your mind right now. How do I apply for work? How will I work? Will the economy recover? How can I help with the family? Lahat po ng katanungan natin ay how, hindi po why. Kasi, hindi naman natin mahahanap ang kasagutan kung bakit nagkaroon ng COVID-19. Pero, tayo po'y tinuruan ng pagbabago, ng gawaing bago, tulad na lamang ng pagmamahal sa ating kalikasan, pagiging malapit sa pamilya, pagpapasalamat sa kung ano po meron tayo ngayon. Ang buhay po ay simple. Hindi po masama ang magasam, pero dapat matuto rin tayo magpasalamat. Kung kasama natin ang ating mga magulang, may pagkain sa hapag, may matutuluyan, malusog tayo, simple lang, just be grateful. Ang COVID-19 ay tinuruan tayong maging malinis. Naalala nyo ba yung 3 payo ng World Health Organization at DOH? Ano sabi? Suot ng mask, magugas ng maigi ng kamay, at dumistansya sa bawat isa. Yan 3 bagay na yan mapapatupad din nyo sa inyong sarili at inyong pamilya, nakatulong na kayo to our fight against the pandemic. Families and communities are crucial. Cleanliness and discipline are important in all the things we do today. The key challenge of education in the 21st century is, are we producing the graduates needed by the economy under the new norm? Mahalaga po ba ang information technology, data science and analytics, supply chain and logistics? Our graduates today are the digital natives. Technology is part of their DNA. They know technology. They live and breathe technology. Can we, therefore, use that know-how to build open governments, smart cities, connected communities, and much more? COVID-19 has showed us that our public health system has to be in place. Capacities need to be enhanced. Kaya nga po sa Maynila, mapalad po kami, meron po kaming 6 na district hospital na pinipilit naming parang maging pribadong ospital. May makabagong gamit, some rooms are air conditions, fixed all other facilities, provide more doctors, nurses, medtech, or at iba pang allied profession. Government has to go online. As you can see, you can now transact in Manila. I think, modesty aside, Manila is the first end-to-end solution. Nang pinasimulan namin yung Go Manila app, or mamaya po, you can visit it, www.gomanila.com or www.cityofmanila.ph. Kasi po, gusto namin, maiiwas namin kayo sa kapahamakan, pero natutugunan ninyo ang inyong responsibilidad sa pamahalaan, sa pagbabayad ng amilyar at businesses, and all other services are online. Ngayon, kahit na nasaan ka sa mundo, pwede kayong magbayad ng, sabi ko nga, amilyar, kumuha ng birth certificate sa Maynila. Education has to overcome the challenges of connectivity and build platform of tomorrow where home, teaching, and lifelong learnings are drivers. Marami pong binago ang COVID-19 sa buhay natin at dito sa siyudad ng Maynila. At marahil, ganyan din po sa IRIGA. Hindi po tayo pwedeng huminto. Opo, nakapanlulumo, pero hindi po tayo pwedeng manatili sa panlulumo. We need to continue our work. We need to rise amidst the risk of the pandemic to hold our people for the opportunities of the future. We saw the shift of micro, small, and medium enterprises to online. Base sa 2018 list ng establishments of the Philippine Statistics Authority, recorded about 1,003,111 business enterprise operating in the country. Of this, 998,342 or 99.52% are MSMEs, no? And 4,769 or about 0.48 are large enterprises. Micro enterprises constitute 88.45% of total MSME establishment, followed by small enterprises at 10.58% and medium enterprises at 0.49. So, we are a nation of entrepreneurs. And as such, skills are important than ever. Yes, education is free these days. From, daycare, elementary, high school, sa Manila po, even colleges. Meron kami PLM and UDM. But there are those who do not value and work hard for it. Sayang po yan. Ako po, magte-30 anyos na yata ako nung makatapos ng kolehiyo. Dahil sa, katulad na nasabi ko, hindi naman ako pinalad na magkaroon ng magulang na may gintong kutsara sa bibig dahil sa kahirapan. Pero, nung ako'y nabigyan ng pagkakataon, nag-aral ako muli. The challenge became an opportunity for me. Sometimes, it's how we look and appreciate things that determines our future. Mindset nga, sabi ko, have a growth mindset and you will soar. A growth mindset, people believe that their most basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Brains and talent are just the starting point or tawag ko dyan, jumping board. This view creates love of learning and a resilience that is essential for great accomplishment. Today, we need more accountants, architects, engineers, teachers, and more skilled workers if we are to build a new Philippines in the new norm. Kahit nga po planning ay dapat maisaayos para hindi lahat ng tao nasa syudad. Land use and zoning are the key to develop cities and disperse population to rural Philippines. Such would push us to develop the rest of the country. Do you know Manila is the most dense city in the world? Opo. Imagine ninyo, no? About 30 families. About 10 families in 30 square kilometer place. No? Imagine mo, di ba? Parang asikip. No? How would you do this physical distancing there? Buti na lamang po, ang inyong lingkod ay hindi nag-iisa na sugpuin. At pinagpapasalamat ko sa aking mga kawani ng pamahalang lungsod, no? At sila po ay naging epesyenteng patuloy na really flatten the curve, and I hope that later on curve will continue to go down or die down with regard to corona virus. At maswerte rin na po na ako'y solong tagapagmana. Hindi ako masyadong mahirap alagain. Dahil ako po'y solong tagapagmana ng lupain ng nanay ko, bulubundukin at umuusok pa. So, with that, in our situation, kahit mahirap ang naging buhay namin, nairaos naman ako ng aking mga magulang. At ako naman, ang paniwala ko, edukasyon. Edukasyon, learning is one of the key to have a better life. Kaya, kung tayo po ay fix o tama ang mindset, believing only on basic qualities like their intelligence or talent are simply fixed trait, spending time documenting intelligence or talent instead of developing them. Believing that talents alone creates success without effort will not go far. Growth mindset allows you to see challenges as opportunities. As I have said, it all depends on how we look at things. Remember the half full and half empty glass tells you? It tells you much about character. Tulad nyo rin po ng UNEP. Your university was established in 1948 in the municipality of Iriga. It was founded by a young couple named Felix Sr. and Remedios Alferol as small school and was first located in a rented property in town center, Mabini Memorial School, as it was named in the beginning, offered complete high school and degree courses in education and liberal arts. This school, in a few years, outgrew its space located downtown. The school then bought 17 hectares of land, a former dump site, near the town center. It then transferred into the new site and developed the campus, completing it in the early 1960s. It then was renamed Mabini College. Additional degrees were offered and school population even grew more rapidly with the diversified campus offerings. In 1974, yun po yung araw ng panahon ng kapanganakan ko, the school received its university charter and was finally named the University of Northeastern Philippines. 4 years later, the College of Law opened. It is the only law school in Iriga. UNEP is considered one of the oldest universities in the Bicol region. And it is also one of the only 2 universities in Iriga. Your founders and the present leaders of UNEP exemplified what a growth mindset is. And because of that, you are lucky to be graduating in UNEP. So, I want you to always remember this day, when Isko Moreno told you to develop grit. Hold it like you hold on to character and honor. Grit will capacitate you to face the opportunities. Grit is perseverance. Grit is important because it is a driver of achievement and success. Independent of and beyond what talent and intelligence contribute. Being naturally smart and talented are great. But to truly do well and thrive, we need the ability to persevere, and without grit, talent may be nothing more than unmet potential or potentials. Finally, enjoy your discovering life, mapping out your professional career, or lead by the entrepreneurial spirit and start your business maybe soon if there's an opportunity. Work hard, work well, take care of your parents, your sibling. Lucky for you, I have none. And be a good citizen of the country. Mahalin po natin ang ating bayan. Dahil kung mahal natin, di mahirap sumunod. Di mahirap ang kusang disiplina. Madaling arugay nito. Kasama namin kayo sa pagulma ng bagong Pilipinas or maunlad na bansa. Enjoy the ride. It will not be easy, but every bump is character defining. Stay true to yourself. And when you have reached such stage, when you can, please, katulad ng utos sa atin ng ating Panginoon, pagmalasakitan at mahalin natin ang ating kapwa. So please, pay it forward. So muli sa mga nanay, tatay na nanonood, congratulations, I'm happy for you. Sa mga guro, teachers, professors, or school staff, alam ko excited din kayo na yun yung mga alaga graduate na. Sa pamunuan ng UNEP, congratulations sa inyo. Keep up the good work. Sa mga mag-aaral na magtatapos, mag-ingat kayo. Yawa ang Diyos, makakaraos din tayo. Magsikap kayo. Mabuhay kayong batch etneb. Batch 2020. Mabuhay ang UNEP. Diyos mabalos po. Maraming salamat. Manila, God first. Thank you.